L'ultima parola di questa riga è il Dharmakaya. Prendiamo rifugio nella chiarezza vuota delle nostre menti, il Dharmakaya. Dobbiamo ricordarci ben bene che il Dharmakaya è una delle quattro dimensioni del Buddha pienamente realizzato. Quindi la chiarezza vuota delle nostre menti corrisponde a una delle dimensioni del Buddha. Il problema è solo che per il momento non ne siamo molto consapevoli. Comunque, ora meditiamo su questo. La chiarezza vuota delle nostre menti è una delle dimensioni del Buddha, detta Dharmakaya, corpo di verità, dimensione di verità. La nostra mente e quella del Buddha hanno la stessa realtà ultima. Ok, siccome è tardissimo andiamo avanti. Ora immaginiamo davanti a noi una delle divinità di meditazione che rappresentano tutti i Buddha rispetto a una loro specifica qualità, in questo caso la compassione. Una delle manifestazioni del Buddha della compassione, Avalokitesvara, è... Scusate, devo tenere il cellulare acceso se mi si spegne la connessione internet, così avviso il monaco organizzatore venerabile Dancio. Allora, dicevamo, questo Buddha è rappresentato nella forma di un essere luminoso di colore bianco, che ci guarda con amore, ci sorride. Una delle sue incarnazioni su questa terra al presente è Sua Santità il Dalai Lama, ma ce ne sono anche altre. Non siamo abbandonati, non c'è rischio, non siamo abbandonati. Quindi questo Buddha della compassione emana dal suo corpo infiniti raggi di luce che raggiungono tutti gli esseri senzienti sofferenti, li purificano da tutto il karma negativo che fa sperimentare loro sofferenza, donano loro tutte le qualità che li fanno progredire nel sentiero fino all'ottenimento della liberazione definitiva da tutte le sofferenze. Questa attività del Buddha viene da noi, diciamo così, contattata tramite la recitazione delle sue parole sacre, del suo mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. gioiamo, rallegriamoci di essere stati in contatto con l'attività illuminata di tutti i Buddha rispetto alla al loro potere compassionevole di aiutare tutti gli esseri, generiamo, oltre alla gioia delle nostre menti, generiamo anche questo senso di ok, la connessione è tornata. Scusate, non è buona. Leggiamo questa preghiera, dicevo: possano tutte le malattie che rattristano le menti degli esseri senzienti, che derivano dal karma e dalle condizioni temporanee, come i danni causati dagli spiriti graha, dalle malattie, dai bhutta e dagli elementi, non verificarsi nei reami del mondo. Possa qualunque sofferenza ci sia, dipendente da malattie potenzialmente letali, che come un macellaio che porta un essere ad essere macellato separano il corpo dalla mente in un solo istante, non verificarsi mai più nei reami del mondo. Possano tutti gli esseri incarnati essere illesi da malattie acute, croniche ed altre malattie infettive. Il semplice suono dei cui nomi terrorizza gli esseri, come se fossero stati collocati nella bocca di Yama, Signore della Morte. Possano tutti gli esseri incarnati non essere danneggiati dalle 80.000 classi di interferenze dannose, dai 360 spiriti maligni che danneggiano improvvisamente, dalle 424 malattie e così via. Qualunque sofferenza ci sia dovuta a disturbi causati dai 4 elementi che privano corpo e mente di ogni piacere, possa essere totalmente pacificata, che il corpo e la mente abbiano splendore e potere, siano dotati di lunga vita, buona salute e benessere, con la compassione dei guru e dei tre rari supremi, con il potere delle dacchini, dei protettori del Dharma e dei guardiani, con la forza dell'infallibilità del karma e dei suoi risultati. Sottolineo, non ho il tempo di spiegare, ma sottolineo, con la forza dell'infallibilità del karma e dei suoi risultati. Il karma è quello di aver compiuto sta meditazione. Possano queste molte dediche e preghiere essere soddisfatte appena vengono pronunciate. Bene, adesso dedichiamo secondo le direttive, cioè secondo le indicazioni, mi è venuta una parola che non va bene, secondo le indicazioni di Lama Zopa Rinpoche, che è il nostro maestro principale, che è in maratona da più di 50 anni, non dorme la notte, solo e soltanto per aiutare noi esseri senzienti. Quindi egli ci ha indicato di fare queste dediche e quindi sappiamo che siamo con lui mentre dedichiamo, e quindi le dediche sono efficaci, molto efficaci. Possa la preziosa supremamente dell'illuminazione non ancora sorta sorgere, quella sorta non declinare mai, ma accrescerci sempre più. Devo selezionare perché sono in ritardo, non le posso leggere tutte. Come la terra, l'acqua, il fuoco e il vento, le medicine e la legna della foresta, allo stesso modo possa io essere usato, goduto da tutti gli esseri senzienti, così come loro vogliono, senza fare la minima resistenza. Possa io tenere gli esseri senzienti cari come la mia vita, possano gli esseri senzienti tenermi massimamente caro, possa il loro karma negativo maturare su di me, possano tutte le mie virtù maturare su di loro. finché qualunque essere senziente non sia ancora stato liberato dal samsara, possa io dimorare lì per aiutarlo, anche se ho già ottenuto la perfetta beatitudine dell'illuminazione. Possa io diventare come un gioiello che esaudisce tutti i desideri e come un albero che, i cui frutti appagano i desideri, soddisfacendo così le speranze degli esseri migratori. Possano gli esseri senzienti meramente guardandomi, ascoltandomi, pensando a me o ricordandomi, così come tramite il toccarmi o il parlare con me, possano essere istantaneamente pacificati da tutte le loro sofferenze, possa esserci sempre felicità per tutti. Ora facciamo le dediche per la lunga vita di due delle più importanti incarnazioni della compassione, della mente illuminata di compassione nel mondo adesso. Una è una dedica per la lunga vita di Sua Santità il Dalai Lama. Tu che sei il gioiello che soddisfa i desideri di tutti, sorgente di qualunque singolo beneficio e felicità in questo mondo, incomparabilmente gentile, supremo Tenzin Gyatso, possa tu avere lunga vita e tutti i tuoi santi desideri essere spontaneamente soddisfatti. E adesso per la lunga vita di Lama Zopa Rinpoche, il Lama di cui vi dicevo in precedenza che è in maratona da 50 anni, non dorme e compie attività infinite per gli esseri, per il beneficio degli esseri. Tu che sostieni la moralità del soggiocatore, che servi come potente sostenitore di tutto, supportando, preservando e diffondendo la vittoriosa dottrina di Manjushri, tu che magistralmente compi magnifiche preghiere che onorano i tre sublimi Buddha, Dharma e Sangha, Salvatore di me stesso e degli altri tuoi discepoli, ti prego, vivi a lungo. Ok, Venerable Tenzin Michael, I'm
ciao.
ready. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are from Nalanda?
Yes, I'm in Nalanda.
From Nalanda?
Yes. Where are you from?
Okay.
Where are you?
Italy.
Italy. Sì. So,
Don't you see?
Dove stai?
Sicilia. So my root center is L'Amazon Kappa Institute, but then Geshe Champa Gyatso told me to live in Sicily, in a retreat place, in which I am now, and it is 14 years that I mainly live here.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. And then 17 years I was in the Amazon Kappa Institute.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Have a good
Goodbye.
practice. Goodbye.
Ciao. Buona giornata.
Ciao. Buona giornata a te.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Tenzin Michael. I'm a monk at Nalanda Monastery in the south of France. I'm in my room now in Nalanda Monastery. So welcome to the prayerathon, the weekly prayerathon. So to start with, we generate a good motivation for this practice. So we do this practice for the benefit of all sentient beings. So we can spend for a minute to calm our mind and focus on the breathing. So we let go of all our thoughts and emotions which are not concerned with this practice. Our worldly concerns we let go, and we remain in the here and now for a few seconds. And then with a peaceful and calm mind, we generate the bodhicitta motivation. So we think about all sentient beings, infinite sentient beings who have been extremely kind to us in this life and in future lives, who have even been our mothers and fathers and done a lot of things. And even in this life, we completely depend on other sentient beings, on other person, humans, animals, and we're completely interdependent on others. We think we are so independent, but actually I myself alone, I would probably starve within a few days. We would not have heating, clothes, food, all kind of things. So all these things we take for granted is only due to the kindness of all the sentient beings. And not just sentient beings, even our whole planet. We are completely dependent on nature, on plants, on the soil, on the elements, clean air, clean water. All these things we take for granted. So now in this prayer, this practice, we like to return something of the kindness of others. So we remember the kindness of all those sentient beings, and we generate a wish to repay the kindness. So what we can do with all the good conditions we have here, all our we are healthy, we are everything goes well, we are living at least here we are living free of fear, we are not threatened, we are not starving, everything is more or less good, and we can think about all those persons and other sentient beings who don't have such favorable conditions, who live in fear of dying, fear of getting sick, fear of COVID, fear of losing their job, financial problems, health problems, and especially those people who are actually sick. Especially this prayer is for the people sick by the COVID-19, but there are many other diseases which we like to include, and also human-caused problems on this planet by our way of life. We exploit nature and we cause incredible suffering by the damage we do to this planet. And so all this we like to stop. We pray for all sentient beings to have happiness and the cause of happiness. And for us, we can do some things in daily life, but we don't have the power to completely free all sentient beings from enlightenment. Only a fully enlightened Buddha can do this. So we aspire to become enlightened ourselves in order to be really able to lead sentient beings to happiness. Just as, for example, His Holiness Dalai Lama, the Buddha, the incarnation of the Buddha of compassion, the benefit he has done in this world is incredible. So we can inspire to become like him or like Lama Zopa Rinpoche and other great teachers, or like the Buddha himself. So we aspire for this, not just for ourselves, but to be able to benefit sentient beings. And we do this prayer with this motivation for all sentient beings to be free of suffering, to have happiness and a cause of happiness, and for ourselves to be able to actually accomplish this. So with this motivation, we start the refuge verse. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Idams, and Dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Idams, and Dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Idams, and Dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. And then we can do the mantra of Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion. And if you have an initiation of Chenrezig, you can visualize yourself as Chenrezig and all the love and compassion radiating out from yourself. If you don't have the initiation, you can visualize Chenrezig above your head and imagine that his blessing is coming down to you and also radiating out to benefit all sentient beings, and they're blessed and healed and free of suffering and free from all suffering and experience happiness. So we visualize this while we recite the mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Then we can continue with the actual prayer, the prayer of the Vajra speech of the Mahasiddha Thangtong Gyalpo, the blessed prayer known as liberating Shakya from disease. May all the diseases that sadden the mind of sentient beings, that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of grass spirits, illness, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever suffering there are from life-threatening diseases, that like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose name terrify beings, as two that had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Guru and the Three Jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results. May all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. So we recite this prayer for a few times, again and again. And while we recite, we imagine that all the things which are mentioned in this prayer actually become true, that beings are free from disease, they practice Dharma, and their mind is free of the three poisonous, free of ignorance, hatred, aversion, and may they cause the good things to happen, and may they get enlightened quick. And yeah, especially also if you know people who are suffering right now, you can keep those people in mind and imagine that to the power of this prayer, may they be free of all their suffering. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of grass spirits, illness, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever suffering there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as though they had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to the disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the Three Jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of grass spirits, illness, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever suffering there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sound of whose name terrify beings, as though they had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the Three Jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of grass spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever suffering there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sound of whose names terrify beings, as though they had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the Three Jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedication prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of grass spirits, illness, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as should have been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the three jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as harms of grass spirits, illnesses, and the bhutyas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as should have been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and three jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. So now this is the last recitation. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of grass spirits, illnesses, and the bhutyas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever suffering there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sound of whose names terrify beings, as should have been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, well-being, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the three jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Then we can continue with another prayer. It's called The Swift Fulfillment of Wishes, Independence on the Great Jetsun Tsongkhapa. So this is a prayer to Lama Tsongkhapa. And also in this prayer, we pray for the welfare of all sentient beings, humans, animals, and all sentient beings. And we can also include the whole planet, which is out of balance. Someone has mentioned about the elements being out of balance, like the fire element, the wind element, due to our burning of fossil fuels. The earth is out of balance, which causes a lot of diseases and suffering all over the world. So we also can pray for this to be eliminated and stopped. Namo Guru, supreme embodiment of the wisdom and compassion of all the victorious ones of the three times, manifesting as a monk wearing the three saffron robes, the spontaneous exalted wisdom Dharmakaya, possessing the five bodies. To you, Jetsun Losang Drapa, I make request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. With the nature of primordially pure clear light, uninterrupted natural expression of the complete Sambhogakaya, the great essence, union of body and mind, to you, Jetsun Losang Drapa, I make request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. displaying an array of manifold Nirmanakaya emanations, appropriate to the limitless living beings, equaling the expanse of space. To you, Jetson Lawson Rapa, I make a request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. To the power of having made single-pointed request to you, may all the unfortunate natural manifestations of the degenerate age, illness, famine, quarreling, epidemic diseases, graha spirits, interference and so forth be pacified. Then, when I request that the excellent collection of conducive conditions increase, please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Having completely cleared away the darkness of ignorance and confusion, and fully developed the illumination of supreme intelligence, various friends who caused the 100-petal lotus of the scriptural tradition to bloom, the sun radiating benefit and happiness to you, I make a request. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Since I and others, the assembly of faithful disciples, have no other Lord of refuge to turn to for hope, when we make requests in the 6 sessions of day and night, please bless us that the Guru's blessing may enter our minds. Also, at the end of this life, may I see you, glorious Lawson Rapa, along with your retinue, and immediately have a vision of you saying assuringly, Son, go to the celestial realm of Tushita. Care for me with your compassion, precious Guru. Please bless me that my wishes be swiftly fulfilled. Then we still have a little bit of time, so we can also recite some Tara mantras. Tara is a female deity of compassion, and he's quickly helping solving problems and so forth. So we can also do some Tara mantras to for the blessing of Venerable Tara to help eliminate all problems and diseases. Om Tare tu reso, 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 Om Tare tu reso. Om Tare tu reso, Om Tare tu reso, Om Tare tu reso, Om Tare tu reso. Om Tare tu reso, 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 Om Tare tu reso. And then we can dedicate all the merit we created during this session with our good motivation we created in the beginning. We can renew this motivation and again think about all sentient beings, all beings who are suffering, who are caught in samsara, who wish for happiness, but constantly create the cause of suffering. So we pray for all these sentient beings to get out of their suffering, to generate the mind of love and compassion and wisdom, and themselves get free of suffering and reach enlightenment. May the precious supreme bodhicitta, not yet born, arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. Due to this merit, may I quickly become a Guru Buddha and lead all transmigratory beings without exception to that enlightened state. Due to all the merits of the 3 times collected by me, the numberless Buddhas and the numberless sentient beings, may all wars, sickness, famine, torture, poverty, and economic problems in the world, and all dangers of earth, water, fire, and wind be pacified immediately. And may perfect peace and happiness prevail in everyone's heart and lives. May the Buddha Dharma last for a long time, and may the sentient beings in this world meet the Buddha Dharma and achieve enlightenment as quickly as possible. Due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me and all the merits of the 3 times, collected by the numberless Buddhas and numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty of existing from their own side, may I, who am completely empty of existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty of existing from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are completely empty of existing from their own side to that state which is completely empty of existing from its own side, by myself alone, who is completely empty of existing from my own side. Then we especially also dedicate all the merit created here for our gurus, our lamas, especially His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and also for your personal guru and your lamas guiding you to enlightenment, for the welfare and long life of all our teachers. Kangri rawe korwe shinkam dir pendang dewa malu chungwe ne Chenrezig Tenzing Gyatso shape si te partu tengyurchi tu chul jang jin jang gung gyalwe Tenzing kyong pelwe kum so do pose Joksum kurwe. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. So, yeah, we dedicate for all sentient beings, especially for our teachers. May all the pure prayers get fulfilled immediately. Okay, thank you very much. And I think next is Venerable Namjong and Venerable Gache from maybe still at Kopan Monastery.
Still at Kopan for sure.
Sorry?
Yeah, we're still at Kopan for sure.
Still at Kopan.
No talk.
Okay.
Yeah. The India, but Nepal, they extended the ban on flights to India, so looks like we'll be here.
No. So,
but yeah, it's a good place to be.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Okay. Everything fine in Kopan?
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing well here at Kopan.
Yeah.
Hope you're well there in Nalanda.
Yes, we're fine. Yes, a little bit of confinement, but it's not too strict. We can go for a walk for 1 hour a day, and we can go shopping. And we have less visitors now, so it's a bit more quiet. But the studies are continuing, and it's quite almost like normal. Yeah.
Good.
So things are fine.
Great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say hi to everyone for us, and
Yeah,
we'll see you later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you. Goodbye.
Okay. Nice to
Bye.
see you. Bye. Okay. Yeah. Well, welcome everyone. As you heard, we're at Kopan Monastery. We've been here since September. I've been in Nepal since February. Venerable Namjong's been here since March. Yeah, it's been a long year. We didn't expect to be here so long, but all in all, it's been a good place to be. I imagine a lot of you are in a similar situation where you didn't expect the year to turn out this way. But as we keep saying, that's quite normal. That's the way things are. Everyone keeps talking about things get back to normal soon. But really, when we say get back to normal, it just means that we don't see the suffering manifestly again. But generally speaking, it's normal for there to be a lot of suffering in the world and uncertainty. Shouldn't be anything surprising about that. So I think rather than asking may things get back to normal, maybe we can think about how we can a better state where we're not affected by all this external chaos and uncertainty, and we can find some kind of stable peace of mind and happiness that would be more of a normal, happy state. So maybe we can see this as an opportunity to generate renunciation, generate compassion. We said that every week we've been here. So we're trying as well from our side. It's not always easy, but it's definitely a good practice. So I think we can think about all the people who are perhaps in worse circumstances than ourselves, because although it's no longer kind of the emergency blaring light situation that it was presented as maybe 8 months ago, really than before. I think there's actually more people getting sick now than there were before. So we can think about what that would be like. Imagine all these months and months and months you feel like you've been running away from the virus, and then finally one day you find out that you're tested positive for it. That would be quite a frightening experience, I think, for a lot of people. Or that your friends or your family are locked away in quarantine and you don't know what's going to happen to them, and you can't see them. That's quite a difficult situation. So with that in mind, we can engage in these prayers. So as you all know, Lama Zopa Rinpoche has encouraged us to do these prayers every week for a 24-hour period. And these prayers, this particular prayer was composed by Thangtong Gyalpo, a great practitioner who composed it specifically for an epidemic disease. So we think about it as something powerful for helping to quell that. But basically, the cause of the disease is ultimately comes down to karma. There are different conditions that help that to manifest or not. So there's two ways to approach it. We can search for a vaccine, which is a very good way to mitigate the conditions. But the ultimate condition, that's causing it, is karma. So the more we can purify the karma that's causing it, then it might go away on its own, or it might just be more likely that the conditions will manifest that it can be quelled, that the vaccine will be effective, will become widespread, or that world leaders will have a change of heart and act in accordance with science and with statistics, and take measures that will help to mitigate the problem. So from our side, the main thing is that we are doing our own practice and study every day of Buddhism. This is the most meritorious thing. So it's not just that we, spend the whole day doing whatever we want to do and then recite a prayer one time. That wouldn't really be very effective. But if we, are spending a lot of our time reflecting on the teachings, thinking about things, trying to reflect on our actions and change our actions, then we have something, some kind of force of merit. So then with the prayer, we're just dedicating that merit that we've already accumulated. It's not like we have to, start from zero. So we have this opportunity then to dedicate that for all the people who are suffering from this disease and from other diseases that might be in the world or might arise in the future. So with that said, we can start. We'll recite the motivation to begin, and then we'll recite the mantra of Avalokiteshvara. As I've been doing, we'll do the long mantra one time if you know it, and if not, just listen after that. We'll do the short mantra for a while, and then we'll recite the prayer, the actual prayer, as many times as we can. So to start, let's just sit quietly for a couple of minutes to get focused, and then we can begin with the motivational prayer. Okay, so we have motivation here. All sentient beings, some others who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Idams, and Dakinis. Go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, some others who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Idams, and Dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, some others who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of Gurus, Idams, and Dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. Okay, so now we'll recite the mantra of Avalokiteshvara, so you can visualize Avalokiteshvara. We have a very nice image right here, so you can focus on this image if you like. Maybe imagine that light rays are emanating from that and going to all beings in the 10 directions, purifying their karma, their negative karma, and their obscuration, their afflictions, and especially their illnesses, and setting them in state of perfect bliss and contentment, and ultimately leading them to Buddhahood. Namo Ratnatrayaya Namaharya Jhanam Zaigara Varjana Urajaya Jadagadayam Arhade Samyak Sambudayam Namazara Jadagadebya Arhadevyam Namyak Sambudevya Namarya Poli Buraya Bodhisattvaya Mahasattvaya Mahagarunikaya Jayada Wandaradara Diri Diri Duru Duru Iti Vade Sale Sale Pratsale Pratsale Kusume Kusumaware Hili Mili Siddhi Valamavana Yeswaha. Oh, Mani 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 Mani. Okay, so now we'll recite the actual prayer as many times as we can. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as aham, the graha, spirits, and as the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases like a butcherling, then able to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirror, and soon not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, or intermittent diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. They've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings are, the disturbance of the four elements be totally pacified. But occur in the realms of the world. But apart from life-threatening diseases that like animal the mind whatever threatening diseases don't let go. May whatever sufferings there are that due to the disturbance of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians, by the power of truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Are we back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hello again, everyone. Hope you've been reciting. So we actually only have a few more recitations to go in this half hour, so we'll keep going with that. Hopefully we'll stay with you this time. May all the diseases that in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, the Dham spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher sending it out will be slaughtered. Separate the body from the mind and appearances that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. Those in place inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all the body beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are to do disturbance the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind be endowed with radiance and power, and may the God of long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the three jewels, the power of the Dakinis and protectors and guardians, the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases of the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions that harm the Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher then and then able to be slaughtered. Separate the body from the mind and the appearances that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. Of interferers, 360 spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances, the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power and be endowed with life, have wealth, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus, the three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians, by the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that in the mind of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, that harm the Graha spirits, the illnesses, and the Buddhas, and occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher living in the number to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the appearance that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings be unharmed by the acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. Those in a place inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all the body beings be unharmed by the 8,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Yet there are some things that are to do the servants of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And the body and mind of radiance and power and be endowed with long life and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and three jewels, the power of the Dakinis and the protectors and guardians, the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Okay, we'll do one more. May all the diseases that in the mind of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, as the Dham, the Graha spirits, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher living then able to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. May all the body beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings there are due to the disturbance of the four elements, depriving the body, mind, every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body, mind, of radiance and power be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians, and the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Okay, so we're here for a full hour, and we'll not normally the second half hour, so we won't do an extensive dedication now, but if you are leaving us, if you like, you can do dedication prayers on your own. But let's just pause for a minute to mentally dedicate the merit for all the sick sentient beings in the world. Okay, so now I'll pass it over to Venerable Namjang for the second half hour.
Okay, Tashile, Namaste, hello. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in for this weekly Thangtong Gyalpo Prayer-a-thon session. So just, I guess I kind of said something last week, but it's always good to keep in mind the big picture. So when we look at the actual prayer, we're praying, may all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions. So as Venerable Gache mentioned, all of the problems that we see in the world, that we see in samsara, be it epidemic disease, natural disaster, the war, any type of suffering experience, is the ripening effect of karma or actions that we and the other beings that inhabit this world have done in the past. So again, if we really want to be free from all of these problems, what that means is we need to be free from samsara, which is this uncontrolled cycle of rebirth that is projected by our karma and our afflictions. So that's the sort of end goal. But even more than that, then when we consider all the other sentient beings who, just like us, don't want suffering, and just like us want happiness, it wouldn't be enough for us to just achieve liberation from samsara for ourselves, but rather thinking that we need to take responsibility for all the limitless sentient beings, vast as the vastness of space, who, by the way, have been our mothers, been our fathers, our dear ones, that have showered us in kindness countless times, benefited us in so many ways. And not only that, all of the good qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, which we find a little bit more easy to venerate, those came actually from sentient beings, because the Buddhas were born from bodhisattvas, and bodhisattvas were born from compassion. So as Lama Zopa Rinpoche is mentioning, emphasizing in his teachings, to sort of, we consider sentient beings like the Buddhas would consider them, even if we can't, really do that in an uncontrived way now. Just try to think with the sentient beings that we encounter on a day-to-day basis, that the Buddha got to be the Buddha by cherishing this particular sentient being that we come into contact with, as a mother would her only beloved child. So then, having taken responsibility to free all these sentient beings from their suffering, then what do we have to do? Well, we have to accumulate the causes. Most important is this mind of bodhicitta. And then after that, we need to accumulate the vast accumulations of merit and transcendental wisdom. Then we can become the Buddha. And then, and only then, will we be able to lead sentient beings in the most effective way to be free of suffering. So, big picture in mind today on a temporary basis, so we can stop for these diseases and other problems in the world, but on an ultimate level, so we can quickly achieve enlightenment, so we can lead all other sentient beings to do the same. Okay? So with that motivation, then we turn to the beginning here. We can visualize all sentient beings, all in space around visualize our
go for refuge of the Dharmakaya.
All sentient beings,
infant like space, go for refuge of the vicious Guru, go for refuge of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, refuge of the
Okay, I think we're back. I hope we're back. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, a little reminder that we're in Nepal. So sometimes the internet acts that way. Okay, but hopefully you've been reciting Om Mani Padme Hum as we have been trying to get back online. So do just a few more. Om Mani Padme, 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 Om Mani Padme Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme. Om Mani Padme, 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 Om Mani Padme. Om Mani Padme, 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 Om Okay, so we'll continue with the actual prayer. We'll recite this for, as many times as we can. So you can think, that not only is this a prayer, but it's dedicating all the merit that we've accumulated, and as well as all the merit from the numberless sentient beings and endless Buddhas. May all the diseases that sat in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, that harm the Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that like a bush standing in the number to be slaughtered. Separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, whose names terrify beings, so that they be placed inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are, the disturbance of the 4 elements, the power of the body, mind, and body happiness be totally pacified. And the body and mind of radiance and power be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the benefit of the Gurus and the 3 jewels, the power of the Dakinis and the protectors and guardians, by the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases found in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions that harm the Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas not occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that like a bush standing in the be slaughtered. Separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are, the disturbance of the 4 elements, depriving the body, mind, and body happiness be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the 3 jewels, the power of the Dakinis and our protectors and guardians, the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases found in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions that harm the Graha spirits and the Buddhas occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that like the bush in the number to be slaughtered. Separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. Body beings be unharmed by 80,000 chronic and epidemic diseases, mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as though they have been placed inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death.
May all embodied beings be unharmed by being and classes of interferers, evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are that the disturbance of the world elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dark deities and the protectors and guardians, the power of the truth and infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that are mind of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions that are harm to the Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases, like a butchering and animal will be slaughtered. Separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. So that in places at the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are that did the disturbance of the 4 elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the deities and protectors and guardians, power of the truth, infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that in the mind of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions that are harm to Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases, that look which is letting that able to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and intermittent diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, will be placed inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm subtly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are to do the disturbance of the 4 elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dark deities and protectors and guardians, by the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that in the mind of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions that are harm to Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that like a bush and an animal will be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sound of whose names terrify beings, placed inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings are that the disturbance of the 4 elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power, be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dark deities and protectors and guardians, the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these settlements and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that in the mind of sentient beings result from temporary conditions, such as harm to Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that will be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as they are placed inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by 8,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are due to the disturbance of the 4 elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified, and the body and mind of radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dark deities and protectors and guardians, the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of Graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher living in the temple to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirrors that occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. Beings being harmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 160 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are, the disturbance of the whole elements, the private the body, mind, and very happiness be totally pacified. By the body and mind of radiance and power and being down to long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dark, the protectors and guardians. By the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled.
May all the diseases
that set in the mind of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of God, spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that look a butcher thing and then able to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirror and that occur in the realms of the world. The all body may be an acute, chronic, or the epidemic disease of the mere sound of his name terrify beings. As though they place inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. The all-body beings being harmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 24 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are, the disturbance of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. With the body and mind of radiance and power and being down with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians, the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases set in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions that harm the God, spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas not occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are, the life-threatening diseases that like a butcher's is letting them to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirror, and some that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings being harmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings. Whether they place inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all the body beings being harmed by 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. May all whatever sufferings there are to the disturbance of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be fully pacified. The body and mind of radiance and power and being down with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians. By the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Whatever the diseases set in the minds of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions that harm the God, spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher letting them able to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirror, that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings being harmed by the acute, chronic, or the epidemic diseases, the mere sound of his name terrify beings. Those are the place inside the mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all the body beings being harmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever suffering there are, the disturbance of the four elements, the body and mind, and happiness be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power be down with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians. By the power of truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Okay, one more time. May all the diseases set in the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions that harm the God, spirits, illnesses of the Buddhas that occur in the realms of the world. Whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that like a butcher thing and then able to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind and the mirror that occur in the realms of the world. May all the body beings being harmed by acute, chronic, and epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, who have been placed in such an mouth of Yama, Lord of Death. May all the body beings being harmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, 424 diseases, and so forth. Whatever sufferings are, the disturbance of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind of radiance and power and being down with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and three jewels, the power of the Dakinis, the protectors and guardians, by the power of the truth, the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled.
Okay. So we will do the dedication. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we dedicate, let's see if I can go to full screen mode. Okay. Oh. Okay, there we go. So we dedicate all these merits, as well as all the merits accumulated over 3 times by ourselves, the numberless Buddhas, numberless sentient beings. May the precious Supreme Bodhicitta not yet born arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. Samsara nirvana, lack even and out of inherent existence, and cause and effect, independent arising or betraying. I seek a blessing to discern the meaning of Nagarjuna's thought, that these two are mutually complementary and not contradictory. However many sick sentient beings there are, may they quickly be free from all sicknesses. May all the sicknesses, without exception, of transmigratory beings never occur again. And all my lives never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma, and by completing the qualities of the grounds and paths, including the state of Vajradhara.
By the verses victorious one,
Tsongkhapa acting as my direct virtuous friend in all our lives, may I never turn away for even a second from the pure path, highly admired by the victorious ones. Oops. May I and all sentient beings meet the teachings of the victorious one, Sangha, who lived an eminent life endowed with pure morality, brave heart in doing the Bodhisattva's extensive deeds, and the yoga of the 2 stages, the supreme transcendental wisdom of non-dual bliss and emptiness. Like the earth, water, fire, and wind, medicines and wood in the forest, may always be enjoyed by all sentient beings as they like and without resistance. May I hold as dear as my life, may sentient beings hold me most dear. May all their negative karma ripen on them, ripen on me. Sorry. May all their negative karma ripen on me, and all my virtue ripen on them. As long as any sentient being has not been liberated from samsara, may I abide in samsara to help them, even though I achieve highest enlightenment. May I become like a wish-granting jewel, fulfilling all the wishes, wish-granting tree, fulfilling all the hopes of transmigratory beings. By merely seeing, hearing, thinking about, or remembering me, as well as by touching me or talking to me, may all suffering be instantly pacified, and may there be happiness forever. And due to all the past, present, future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty, existing from their own side, may I, whom completely empty, existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty, existing from its own side. I lead all sentient beings who are completely empty, existing from their own side, to that state which is completely empty, existing from its own side, by myself alone, completely empty, existing from my own side. I fully dedicate all these virtues to be able to train, just like the Hirma Jushri who knows reality, and just like Samadhi as well. I fully dedicate all my roots of virtue. The dedication praises the best, victorious ones of the 3 times, in order to have good conduct. For the Dharma King Tsongkhapa's way of Dharma to flourish, may all signs of obstacles be pacified and all conducive conditions complete. Due to the 2 types of merit of the 3 times of myself and others, may the teachings of the victorious one Losang Drakpa shine resplendent forever. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, the incomparably kind Supreme Tenzin Gyatso, may your own life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the 3 sublime ones, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Oops. Okay. So thank you very much. We have 1 more minute. So I just wanted to say, this week in the US is Thanksgiving. So many of you tuning in might be traveling. So please take the necessary kind of precautions. And well, if you don't have to travel, then maybe it's better not to. I think some states are advising not to do that. But I guess more importantly, just to emphasize one thing that we were saying in these dedications about being like the earth, water, fire, and wind, like a wish-fulfilling jewel to all sentient beings. So this is what we have to then go out and practice in our daily lives. So when we meet people, whether we're with our families or out and about, the little small things that we can do to benefit others, really makes a huge difference in this world. Although there's a lot of negativity, these just small actions that we can do on a day-to-day basis to help brighten the lives of those that we come into contact with, is something that I would, just please encourage you to do as much as we can. Okay, so I see Joan, you're on next.
Hi.
Namaste.
Namaste, how are you?
Okay.
Long time no see.
The internet cut out a few times, so hopefully you'll have better luck.
Okay. Did it come back by itself? Like just stopped sort of?
Well, yeah, I don't know, I was maybe fiddling with something, but
No.
yeah, it came back by itself, but I had to re-log into Zoom.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah.
See you soon. Bye.
Okay, namaste.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Thank you.
see you. Bye, everyone.
Okay. So I'm also coming to you from Kopan, like Venerable Namjung and Venerable Gyalpo. I'm here at Kopan Monastery in Nepal. My name is Joan. I'll be leading the next 2 half-hour sessions. So if you're joining me now, we'll start by setting up a good motivation for doing this session. So of course, if you already did the session before, you're already in a good place. So you can either continue reciting the mantra Mani Padme Hung or reciting the prayer written by Thangtong Gyalpo. Or you can start again with setting up a good motivation. If you're joining for the first time now, you can begin by setting up a good motivation. And of course, the best motivation is always the motivation that goes beyond ourselves. But it can start with ourselves. We can begin by thinking about how this pandemic has affected us, me, how it's affected me. Each one of us has been affected by this pandemic. Probably at this point, there's almost nobody in the world who hasn't been affected by the pandemic. And of course, it's changed our lives drastically. It might have caused you much suffering or less suffering, depending on where you are and your personal situation with your family, with your job. But of course, for many people, it's been huge suffering. So many people have lost their lives. So many people right now are struggling to stay alive. People all over the world are in hospital on ventilators. They're worried, their families are worried, their friends are worried. It's really an awful situation. So it actually makes it quite easy, I think, to develop compassion. We just think beyond ourselves at what so many people in this world are facing right now, and it's hard to imagine, not even watching your loved one die because you can't be with them, but just hearing, from the nurse or the doctor that your loved one is in a bad situation must be terrible, feeling so helpless and hopeless, stuck at home, unable to be there even. So we put ourselves in the situation of those family and imagine how we'd be feeling if it was somebody close to us who was dying or severely sick and in danger of dying. So we can bring to mind some of the images we've seen on TV or in the newspaper. Images of hospitals full, people in the corridors on stretchers, people in ICU, hooked up to all kinds of machines, receiving oxygen, intubated. So we're doing the practice for them, for each one of them. Whatever country they are, whatever religion they practice, whatever race they are, whoever they are, young, old, in between. Our prayers are for each one of them. That they may be free from this suffering, that if they die, that they may take a good rebirth, never ever be reborn in the lower realms, but receive only good rebirths, and in particular receive good rebirths where they can meet the spiritual path that's suitable for them, spiritual teachers who can guide them and help them overcome all the causes of suffering, their own deluded states of mind and the actions that come from those bad states of mind, those mistaken states of mind. And then we do this practice for all those who are currently sick with COVID-19. Maybe not in any particular danger to die, but still very much suffering because of the effects of this illness. People talk about the incredible fatigue, lack of energy, and all sorts of other problems, from the difficulty of breathing to people have all kinds of things like unclear minds, difficulty following a train of thought. Different organs in the body can be affected, causing different kinds of suffering. And of course, some people have the fortune to have very mild case. And some people, it seems, even can have the disease without showing any symptoms whatsoever. We include all of them in our prayers. And then Lama Zopa Rinpoche encourages us to include also those people who have the karma to become sick with COVID-19, who are not sick yet, but will eventually get this illness because they have the karma to get it. And so we can think that our prayers purify that karma. So for those who are sick, our prayers bring about the treatment they need in order to recover, to lead long and meaningful lives. For those who have the karma to get this disease but are not yet sick, our prayers have the power to purify their negative karma, to prevent their negative karma from ripening. And then, of course, there's all the other different sufferings that are brought on by this illness. Too many different kinds of problems even to enumerate, from everything from all the worries that catching this disease entails, all the difficulties of a life where you're always wearing a mask, where you're always having to social distance, where you're always being careful about what you touch, careful of not being too close to people, particularly people you don't know. All the stress and anxiety and worry that goes with trying to prevent yourself from getting sick so that also you don't cause others to get sick. And then also the different kinds of sufferings related to the economy, about having lost a job or being in danger of losing a job, and all that the stress and worry that brings, how to support yourself, your family, pay the rent, pay your mortgage. So much insecurity right now in the world. So we do this practice for all of these people who are suffering from all the different ways in which COVID is changing our lives and causing us difficulties, that everyone who has problems may find a solution to those problems and be free from all this suffering. So just spend a moment in silence thinking about all these different people affected by the illness, starting with ourselves, our families, our friends, but then expanding that out to include all the people all around the world. In every single country, there are people suffering from this illness. No one's escaped, no country's escaped. We really try and open our hearts to all of them. not feeling oppressed by all this suffering, but feeling open to it, accepting it, and wanting everyone to be free from their suffering. Generating this very positive state of mind of compassion. And then, of course, we can include all the other people in this practice who have different kinds of illness. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen that because there's a pandemic causing suffering, that every other kind of suffering comes to an end. No, people have continued to suffer from all sorts of illnesses. People have been diagnosed with cancer in the middle of this pandemic. Some have even already passed away because of cancer, other illnesses that started even after the pandemic began. And people will go on being diagnosed with different kinds of illnesses as this pandemic progresses. So we include all of them, those who died from these different illnesses, those who are sick currently, those who will be sick in the future. We open our hearts to all of them. We can try and visualize all these people sitting in front of us. The ones we know, people in our family who have different kinds of suffering due to this illness or other illnesses, sitting in front of us, facing us, and around them, behind them. All around us is a sea of human beings experiencing different kinds of suffering. And so we begin the practice by taking refuge in our gurus, in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, asking them to help us, to bless us, to make our practice strong. So then we can recite together. It's called the motivation, but it's actually also a verse for taking refuge. All sentient beings, my mothers, excuse me, all sentient beings, my mothers who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of gurus, yidams, and dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of gurus, yidams, and dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of gurus, yidams, and dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. And then if you have the appropriate empowerment of Chenrezig, you can begin by visualizing yourself as Chenrezig, whether in the forearm aspect or the 1,000-arm aspect. Otherwise, you can visualize Chenrezig in front of yourself or above your crown, the crown of your head. And from Chenrezig's heart and from every pore of his body, rays of light go out. And on the tip of every ray of light, there's another Chenrezig that comes to the crown of everybody's head. All those people that you visualize sitting in front of you, above each of their heads is a Chenrezig. And as we recite the mantra, we can visualize rays of light and nectar flowing from Chenrezig's heart, going down from Chenrezig, entering into the head of the person under him, and then filling their body and relieving them of all their suffering, as well as all the causes of their suffering, all the deluded states of mind and the negative karmas that were produced from those negative states of mind. So we can visualize really that everybody becomes free of whatever suffering that they're experiencing. So you can recite this mantra to yourself quietly, or you can join me. I'm not going to chant it, I'm just going to recite it. Om mani padme hum, 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 mani padme hum. Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami Omani pami hunga mani pami hunga mani pami hunga mani pami hunga mani pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami Omani pami hunga mani 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 pami hunga Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Then we can imagine that all these people that we visualize in front of us, above their heads is Chenrezig. Chenrezig melts into light. The light absorbs into them, completely purifying them of all their negative karma and all the suffering that's a result of that karma. And each one transforms into Chenrezig. They realize their fullest potential, that of highest enlightenment, and become Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion. We think for a moment how wonderful that is. And then we come back to our current state, which is that there's still many suffering sentient beings, and we make our compassion very strong, our bodhicitta very strong. And then we recite the prayer that was written by Mahasiddha Thangtong Gyalpo at the time when there was an epidemic disease spreading in the region of Sakya, causing great suffering. And by the power of his incredible bodhicitta, his wisdom realizing emptiness, his prayer was very powerful and had the effect of eliminating that epidemic, putting an end to that disease. So we do this practice now. We read this prayer together for that same purpose, that by the strength of our compassion, our good motivation, our sincere wish for all sentient beings to be free from suffering, that this may actually come true and that this pandemic may cease to exist right now and never return again. And that no other pandemics may ever afflict the human beings of this world and all the other realms where there are beings who experience illness. We read this prayer together. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and abhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases, that like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they'd been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and three jewels, by the power of the dakinis, dharma protectors, and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Again, may all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the three jewels, by the power of Dakinis, Dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the Gurus and the three jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, Dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power of truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. So do it one more time. So again, we make our compassion really strong. Generate really a heartfelt wish that this prayer may come true and that this illness and all illnesses that are tormenting sentient beings, in particular human beings, causing them fear, worry, causing them physical as well as emotional suffering, may they disappear, never to return again. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harm of graha spirits, illnesses, and the Buddhas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sound of whose names terrify beings as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, may the body and mind have radiance and power, and dedications and prayers be fulfilled. So then we've done this practice, generating a good motivation, doing the recitation of the mantras of the Buddha of Compassion, Chenrezig, and reciting this prayer. So we've created a lot of good energy, a lot of merit. So we take that merit and we combine it with all the merit we've ever created, not only in this life, but from beginningless rebirths. All the merit that we're currently creating in this life, and also all the merit that we'll go on to create. And we combine it with all the merits of the past, present, future of all the Buddhas and all sentient beings, including all the Bodhisattvas. So this is the merit that we're putting together to bring about the realization of our prayers and dedications. So in particular, we dedicate that this illness may immediately disappear from this world. That no sentient being, no human being ever be affected by COVID-19 ever again. We dedicate that as a contributing factor to this, that all the medicines that are being developed to prevent COVID-19, such as all the vaccinations, that many of them may be effective, truly effective, that they may be produced quickly without any obstacles and widely distributed around the world, not only to the countries that can afford them, not only to the people who can afford them, but to every single human being who needs this vaccination, that they may have, that they may receive it, and they may receive it quickly. That the world may be kind, the governments of our different countries may be kind and share these vaccinations, not only among their own people, but around the world. And we dedicate that all the medicines that have been working for this illness, helping to relieve this illness, causing people to remain alive instead of passing away, may become more and more effective, that more and more medicines may be developed that take away even the long-term side effects of this illness, all the long-term consequences that are causing ongoing harm to many people in this world, that all these medicines may be very effective, that the ones that already exist may become more effective, that new ones may be developed. We dedicate for all those who are working for the sick, all the doctors, all the nurses, all the healthcare workers all around the world, that they may be free from this illness, that they may not be affected by this illness, that they may be able to carry out their work to help others without the obstacle of themselves experiencing illness, that they may be protected. We dedicate for the good rebirths of all those who've passed away, that they may receive perfect human rebirths, meet perfect gurus who can guide them, that they may develop all the positive qualities of their mind, purify all their negative karma, and quickly achieve the fully enlightened state of a Buddha. And we dedicate that all the precious teachers, our gurus, who guide us on this path may have long lives, free from any obstacles to their long life, their health. Their giving Dharma teachings unceasingly be immediately eliminated. And that we may have the good fortune that they remain in this world for countless numbers of years to come. People such as His Holiness Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and all the other kind, qualified gurus who guide us. Thank you for joining me for this session. And I'll start all over again. Okay, so if you're going to continue another session with me, you can just either listen to me or just do your own prayers, mantras. And if you're just joining me now, we will again begin by setting a good motivation. So already, of course, if you're joining this session, it's because you have a good motivation, because you want to do something to help the current situation in the world. So it's not so hard to put ourselves in a good place. That's why we're here. All of us are joining this session and doing this session because we feel the need to do something, to be able to concretely do something in order to at least create the karma in this world, the collective karma for this illness to disappear, for treatments to be found, for vaccinations to be developed that will eventually eliminate this illness. So I won't do too much talking, but let's just spend some moments thinking about how COVID-19 has affected our life, our families' lives, our friends' lives, the people we work with or go to school with. We really think for a moment of the incredible changes that this illness has brought and all the associated problems that it's brought to our lives. And we can think of the big sufferings that it's caused, the loss of life, actual being afflicted by this illness and all the suffering that that's caused. But then there's many, many other consequences to this illness. All the stress that comes from the lockdowns, having to stay at home. It's brought about an increase in domestic violence. People stuck with each other day after day, lose their tempers, hurt each other physically, verbally, emotionally. People already struggling with mental health issues. I've seen them become worse because they can't get the help they need, whether it's from their doctors, their psychologists, their counselors, or even just the support they need from friends and family. And then, of course, the loneliness. As His Holiness often reminds us, we're social animals. We're used to being around other people, even people who are naturally introverted, still interact with some people on a regular basis, whether at work, at home. And suddenly, many people, especially those who live alone, have found themselves very isolated. And those who already had suffering of loneliness, it's been worsened by this situation. Older people are often alone in their apartments, unable to see their children, their grandchildren, just communicating with them via Zoom, Skype. So there's just been a minute just thinking about all these different ways in which people have been affected by this illness. And all the physical problems as well as all the mental problems that it's been causing to so many people around the world. We open our hearts to all these people. And we generate the strong wish that they may find a solution to whatever problem they're experiencing, whether it's the actual illness, whether it's grief from losing someone dear to them due to the illness, whether it's for the stress, the anxiety, the worries and fears that all this situation is causing, the depression, the loneliness. I wish all of it to immediately be, that they all be free from all these different problems. And then coming from this place of really strong compassion, we read together the verse of refuge. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge, the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge, the assembly of gurus, idams, and dakinis. We go for refuge, the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge, the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge, the assembly of gurus, idams, and dakinis. We go for refuge, the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, my mothers, who are infinite like space, go for refuge, the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge the assembly of gurus, idams, and dakinis. We go for refuge the empty cloud of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. And then coming from this place of compassion, if you have the appropriate empowerment, you can visualize yourself as Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion. Or else you can visualize Chenrezig above your head or in front of you, facing you. And then from Chenrezig's heart, and from every pore of his body, rays of light go out. On the tips of every ray of light, there's another Chenrezig, and a Chenrezig comes to the crown of the head of all the different people who are suffering from COVID. So we can imagine all those different people in the hospitals around the world, lying in their hospital beds, some of them intubated, some of them worried that they will end up being intubated, all of them feeling lousy, feeling sick, tired, feverish, having difficulty breathing, all in situations that we ourselves wouldn't like to be in. And then the Chenrezigs also come to the crown of the head of everybody who's at home suffering from this illness. And then all those who are suffering not from from actually having the illness, but from the consequences of this illness. Imagine Chenrezig above all their heads, all those filled with worry and fear, those who are depressed, those who are lonely, all those who have any kind of unhappiness, any kind of unpleasant situation in their life due to COVID-19. And then, of course, you can include in your visualization any other human beings you want to pray for who have different kinds of illnesses, different kinds of suffering. Now, with the American Thanksgiving coming up, we know that millions of turkeys are going to be killed in these coming days. So we can also include all these turkeys in our prayers, understanding that they're just like us, human beings. They don't want suffering, they want happiness, they want to live their life. They want to be free from fear, free from the fear of death, free from the suffering that's caused by death. And so we can imagine that our prayers, we can think that our prayers are also for them. And that Chenrezig's also above the crown of all their heads. And as we recite the mantra, the rays of light flow down from Chenrezig and enter the bodies of all those human beings and all animals who are suffering, relieving them of their suffering, but also washing away all the negative karma that is the cause of this suffering. So we can recite the mantra. We can either recite it silently or chant it or recite it together with me, whatever you prefer. And try and stay in this state of compassion, of really having an open heart, wishing all these beings be free from all their suffering, mental, physical. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. Omani pami hong 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 Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. So we bring back the visualization of all these people in front of us. We think that the Chenrezig above the crown of their head melts into light and absorbs into them. And all their suffering is immediately relieved. And also all their negative karma, the cause of their suffering, is immediately purified. And they themselves become Chenrezig, the Buddha of compassion. We think how wonderful that would be if it were actually to happen. But of course, the reality is that there's still many innumerable suffering sentient beings in this world and in all the different worlds. So, out of a place of compassion, wishing that they be free from their suffering, then we recite this prayer together. So really try and say these words from the depths of the heart, focusing on their meaning, wishing that this really happen, that this epidemic may immediately come to an end. And not only the COVID-19 disappear from the faces of this world, but all other diseases that are tormenting sentient beings, that they too may all disappear immediately. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements depriving the body and mind of every happiness be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of gurus and the three jewels, by the power of dakinis, dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power of truth and the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements depriving the body and mind of every happiness be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of gurus and the three jewels, by the power of dakinis, dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power of truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Again, coming from a place of compassion, we generate a strong wish for this illness to immediately come to an end. And with that, we can wish that all the vaccines that are being developed may have incredibly good results, and that they may reach all the human beings of this world quickly and effectively, without any preference for particular countries, for the rich, that it may reach everyone. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of four elements depriving the body and mind of every happiness be totally pacified. May the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the clash of the gurus and the three jewels, by the power of zucchinis, dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power of truth with the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. So then we can dedicate all the positive energy that we've created by doing this session. And we combine all that good energy with all of the good energy or merits that we've created in the past, not only in this past of this life, but in all our past lives. Whatever positive thought we had, whatever positive speech we had, whatever positive actions we did in the past have created a pile, a huge stock of good karma, of positive energy. And then all the positive actions we're doing now are creating good energy, are creating merit. And all the actions that will go on to create, all the good actions that will go on to create with our body, our speech, and mind are also, we also dedicate the merits that we will create in the future. And we combine our own merits with the merits of all the Buddhas, their past, present, and future merits, as well as all the merits of all sentient beings, including all the Bodhisattvas. So we begin by dedicating that we ourselves and all sentient beings may actualize bodhicitta and realize emptiness. These are the two main causes of achieving Buddhahood, the fully enlightened state. May the precious supreme bodhicitta not yet born arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. Samsara and nirvana lack even an atom of inherent existence, and cause and effect independent, arising, or unbetraying. I seek your blessings to discern the meaning of Nagarjuna's thought, that these two are mutually complementary and not contradictory. So even though we say, I seek, we actually think, may all sentient beings receive the blessings to be able to realize the meaning of Nagarjuna's thought, the unification of emptiness and dependent arising. And then we use the words of Shantideva, this great Buddhist saint who wrote the Bodhisattva Charyavatara, when we do this prayer for the sick. So we'll recite this verse 3 times, wishing that COVID-19 and all other illnesses in this world may immediately disappear. And not only the illnesses in this world, but the illnesses in every single realm of existence, that they may cease to exist. However many sick sentient beings there are, may they quickly be freed from all sicknesses. May all the sicknesses, without exception of transmigratory beings, never occur again. However many sick sentient beings there are, may they quickly be freed from all sicknesses. May all the sicknesses, without exception of transmigratory beings, never occur again. However many sick sentient beings there are, may they quickly be freed from all sicknesses. May all the sicknesses, without exception of transmigratory beings, never occur again. And then Lama Zopa Rinpoche has been using the following verses to dedicate for the dead, those who have already who have died of COVID-19 in particular, but also from any other cause of death. So again, although it says in all my lives, we actually extend this prayer to include all sentient beings. May they also experience these good results. So we dedicate all our merits In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of grounds and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Vajradhara. By the force of the victorious one, Tsongkhapa acting as my direct Mahayana virtuous friend in all our lives, may I never turn away for even a second from the pure path highly admired by the victorious ones. May I and all sentient beings meet the teachings of victorious one Losang Drakpa, who lived an eminent life endowed with pure morality, a brave heart in doing the Bodhisattva's extensive deeds, and the yoga of the two stages of supreme transcendental wisdom of non-dual bliss and emptiness. Then Lama Zopa Rinpoche has been using the next three verses from Nagarjuna's Jewel Garland as a particular way of practicing thought transformation, lojong, of transforming ourselves into a cause of happiness for all sentient beings. So we try and say these words from the depth of our heart. Like the earth, water, fire, and wind, medicines, and wood in the forest may always be enjoyed by all sentient beings as they like and without resistance. May I hold sentient beings as dear as my life. May sentient beings hold me most dear. And here Lama Zopa Rinpoche emphasizes that here we're praying to become the virtuous friend, the guru of all sentient beings. And for this reason, they hold us dear, not because we're ordinary sentient beings, but because we've developed our qualities and become perfect guides for them. Then may all their negative karma ripen upon me, and may all my virtue ripen upon them. As long as any sentient being has not been liberated from samsara, may I abide in samsara to help them, even though I achieve highest enlightenment. May I become like a wish-granting jewel, fulfilling all the wishes, and like a wish-granting tree, fulfilling all the hopes of transmigratory beings. By merely seeing, hearing, thinking about, or remembering me, as well as by touching me or talking to me, may all suffering instantly be pacified, and may there be happiness forever. Then we seal the merits with emptiness. By recalling emptiness, we prevent our merits from being destroyed by negative states of mind, such as anger and wrong view. Due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, and the numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty of existing from their own side, may I, who am completely empty of existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty of existing from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are completely empty of existing from their own side to that state which is completely empty of existing from its own side, by myself alone, who am completely empty of existing from my own side. And then we just conclude the session with the verses for the long life of His Holiness Dalai Lama and Lama Zopa Rinpoche. And of course, here we can include a dedication in our hearts for all our precious holy gurus who guide us on this path to enlightenment, that they may have long lives, that they may have no obstacles from bad health or any other conditions that would cause them to have problems continuing to teach us. And that we ourselves may always have the good karma to meet with perfectly qualified gurus and receive their teachings and be able to put them into practice without any obstacle. So we do this prayer here for the long life of His Holiness Dalai Lama. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, and incomparably kind Supreme Tenzin Gyatso, may have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjana's victorious doctrine, masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the three sublime ones, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. So we thank you very much to all those people who've joined me, whether on Zoom or on YouTube. And I think Venerable Amy's taking over from me. Am I right?
Hi, Joan.
Hello,
Hi.
both of you. I just came to say hello.
Oh,
That's very nice.
It's wonderful to see you. I was just going to send you a WhatsApp message.
Okay, please take care, everybody. Okay?
Bye-bye.
And continue working. Ciao, ciao. Mwah.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Amy. Nice to see you again. We keep meeting here.
Nice to see you. Yeah, everything's fine. Are you doing well?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you.
Rinpoche's well?
He is. He's been teaching the monks quite regularly lately, and he can't stop talking about emptiness. He's on it.
Great. He's great. He's great. Fantastic. The teachings. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see my two roommates.
Oh, it's true. We meet again. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Please enjoy.
Thanks, you too.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. I know we're running a little bit behind. Those are two really good friends of mine. Paloma is in Valencia, I think, Spain. I was teaching there at the center where she is last year, and Joan's at Copan Monastery. And Joan's the one who transcribes all the teachings for Rinpoche. So all the things if you're watching any of the videos, that's with the text next to it, that's Joan's doing. So welcome, good morning. I hope you're all doing well. And we're gonna get started. And I was gonna mention, because Jennifer's here, I'm not able to be with you next week, but the slot is there. So I've mentioned it to the organizer and he's gonna fill in. And so I don't know if Jennifer, if you're able to pop on to share the documents, because I don't know how he'll do it, but I was kind of asking him if he could do it similarly as we do it, but everybody may have a different way. So we'll see what happens. But I thought, so feel free, it's still gonna happen. I just unfortunately have another commitment next week at the same time. Okay. We're gonna start with the Vajra armor that Jennifer, again, put together this great page. So it also helps the people, if anyone's on YouTube, to see the deity, the blue-black Vajrapani, and imagine in the space in front. And again, just take a moment to settle your motivation to make sure that proper motivation is established, that this is what Rinpoche's felt is the best thing we can do for COVID, one of the great things we can do. And I can't really recommend Rinpoche's videos enough that are going on, and very helpful for our minds right now, especially about emptiness. So again, orienting ourselves, so many people are suffering, especially in the United States right now, whether it's COVID, whether they're lacking food and resources to support their families, all the stress. So these are the practices Rinpoche really felt is going to best benefit. Just take a moment, set that motivation. And just thinking of all these beings, this is one of the best things we could do right now to further our path to enlightenment, because then we can perfectly benefit all of them. So for that purpose, let's join these practices and imagine in the space in front of you, a few feet in front of you, slightly higher than the level of your head, is this dark blue-black Vajrapani facing you. It's about 6 inches in height. He's standing amidst this transcendental wisdom fire. And imagine from his body emanates all these purification signs of iron Garudas and black pigs and scorpions, all coming out of all the pores of his body and going into the 10 directions, purifying the planet, purifying all living beings, removing COVID from the earth and any other diseases. And imagine that coming over to you, entering your forehead, throat, and heart, blessing your body, speech, and mind as we recite his mantra. Om Benza Pe, Om Pema Shavari Pe, Nembar Shig Naga Nentayata Sarva Varita, Hana Hana Vajrina Reke Reke Soha. Om Benza Pe, Om Pema Shavari Pe, Nembar Shig Naga Nentayata Sarva Varita, Hana Hana Vajrina Reke Reke Soha. Om Benza Pe, Om Pema Shavari Pe, Nembar Shig Naga Nentayata Sarva Vedita Hana Hana Vajrina Reke Reke Soha. Om Benza Pe, Om Pema Shavari Pe, Nembar Shig Naga Nentayata Sarva Vedita Hana Hana Vajrina Reke Reke Soha. Om Benza Pe, Om Pema Shavari Pe, Nembar Shig Naga Nentayata Sarva Vedita Hana Hana Vajrina Reke Reke Soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. Om benza pe om pama shavadi pe nempar shignagan and tayata. Sarva vedi dahana hana vajrena reke reke soha. So please, if you'd like to blow, cover your mouth, blow the air up your nose to continue the purification from having just blessed your speech with this powerful mantra. And if you have something to drink, you can blow on the surface a few times, take a few sips to continue the purification. Have some faith. You've definitely purified something. And imagine the Vajrapani and the space in front dissolves into emptiness. Just consider that lack of inherent nature. From that wisdom, because things lack inherent concrete existence, from that wisdom, imagine over top your crown comes Black Manjushri, standing. He's about 6 inches in height, holding a sword that cuts delusion, in this case, cuts disease, illnesses, mental and physical, and a similar visualization of from all the pores of his body are emanated purification symbols that clear the earth of COVID in particular, and other mental and physical illnesses and imbalances, also descending through your crown, purifying you of all these diseases as we recite his mantra. Om daso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Om taso chuso do taso do miso ningo la cho kala ja kam sham jambe pe soha. Just have faith that there's been deep purification on the planet and in yourself. And imagine the Manjushri, the black Manjushri, slowly dissolves from the edges of the visualization into the center, into a radiant drop of light. Could be like a beautiful onyx, a smoky topaz or something dissolving into your crown. Just feel all the blessings of his holy body, speech, and mind. This is the prayer liberating Sakya from disease. All sentient beings, my mothers who are infinite like space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the assembly of gurus, yidams, and dakinis. We go for refuge to the empty clarity of our own minds, the Dharmakaya. So we're going to recite Om Mani Padme Hum. And as much as you can focus on the picture of Mahasiddha Thangtong Gyalpo, very helpful. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. I'm going to go to the actual prayer. We'll recite this prayer 3 times. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as though they have been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the 4 elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the 3 jewels, by the power of the dakinis, dharma protectors, and guardians, by the power, the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings as though they have been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, by the power of the dakinis, dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. One more time. May all the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of graha spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings there are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading an animal to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose names terrify beings, as though they've been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings there are due to disturbances of the four elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. By the compassion of the gurus and the three jewels, the power of the dakinis, dharma protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, may all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Pacifying the danger of weapons. Omani Pemi Hong. Great loving victorious one, Arya sublime compassionate eye looking one, wrathful victorious Hayagriva, perfect pure Tara, and so forth. Objects of refuge whose holy names eliminate all dangers upon mere hearing, who are compassionate in nature, please pay attention to me. When the sentient beings of the time of quarreling and a flourishing of the 5 degenerations are tormented by fighting and intense suffering, from the explosion of a great ocean of evil, karma, and jealousy, please dry this ocean up by the strength of your transcendental wisdom and compassion. Also by letting fall a great nectar rain of loving kindness on the transmigrating beings whose hatred is a blazing fire, please grant your blessings for happiness and auspiciousness to increase by their recognizing each other as being like parents. Through your defeating the multitude of vicious evil spirits who, by entering someone's mental continuum, change it instantly into the mind of an Asura. From now on, may they never roam in this region. Please also cause all the sentient beings who have died in war from now on to abandon all evil karma, the cause and result, and be miraculously reborn in blissful land. Please also lead all others to that pure land. Please cause all those who are born and die to have long lives and not have sicknesses, to stop all their quarreling and fighting, and to enjoy a life in the 10 virtues. Please make rain fall at the right time, harvest to always be good, and auspiciousness to increase in all habitats and for all inhabitants. By the ultimate reality, which is pure in nature, unbetraying cause and result, which has that ultimate reality, and the compassionate guru, mind-sealed deity, and rare sublime ones, may my pure and extensive prayers be accomplished. This is a request to pacify the fear of famine. And this is very helpful right now in the States. As you probably know, there's massive food lines of people that don't have enough food, don't have enough money to buy food. I don't know, it's the most, I just don't understand. We spent all this money on the election, there's all this money for the election, but not enough to feed people. I just don't understand it. So let's really direct some energy to these people. Having generated the mind aspiring to the highest supreme enlightenment, in order to truly liberate all infinite living beings, you, the compassionate, victorious one, completed the 2 accumulations. The assemblies of guiding Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, hearers, Pratyeka Buddhas, gurus, yidams, dakinis, and dharma guardians of the 10 directions, yaksha wealth gods, the lords of treasures, along with your retinues. Think of these protectorless living beings of the degenerate times with love, and then in order to protect these embodied beings who are tormented by the sufferings of hunger, thirst, and poverty, let fall a rain of whatever attractive enjoyments are needed. Jewels, food, wealth, grains, bedding, and so forth on this world's land of snows. Please pacify the harms of the 4 elements, untimely wind, fire, drought, rain, floods, and so forth. And may nourishing grains with crops, harvests, and so forth ripen and increase like they do during the age of completion. By the force of having made extensive requests with strong entreaties through the force of loving compassion, may the eon of sickness, fighting, and famine be pacified, and may we possess a happy long life, free from illness. Through the compassion, the great compassion of the victorious ones and their children, and the force of the infallible truth of cause and effect, may the teachings of the victorious ones spread and increase, and may all living beings swiftly attain the highest enlightenment. I don't know, somehow it so irritates me, the thing about the food, because these people that are poor, and then they end up spending 3 hours of their day waiting in line to get food. Just makes, like, that's what they have to spend their time doing. Just, yeah. So I'm sorry, you're not seeing the screen share.
Before, now it was perfect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry. I just saw that. Okay. So we're going to dedicate the merit. And I just have to bring in His Holiness briefly for little blessings to help us clear the obstacles to everybody getting food, easily getting food, and having the resources to do that. And I'm also I just want to add a little clearing of the obstacles for the 2 Senate seats in Georgia going Democratic, okay? And everything's possible, right? Let's ask Tar for the help. Whoops. Oh my, I just shut my phone off by mistake. Okay. We'll go on with the dedications. Sorry about that. We can recite some Tar mantras. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Ture Soha. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button on the phone. The dedication verses, let's do some of these. Dedicating whatever positive energy we've created. Let's invest it not only in our swift enlightenment, so we can be of the most benefit to all living beings, but for COVID to be eliminated from the planet immediately, and all other diseases, body and mind, and for harmony, for our planet to be more and more harmonious, especially in the United States. And I'd like to also dedicate to Donna Halterman. So my old boyfriend's father got COVID. He's doing better. He's in the hospital, but he's doing a little bit better. He was almost going to be put on a respirator. And now his mother, of course, got COVID from her father, and she's not doing very well. So I don't think she's in the hospital yet, but her name is Donna Halterman, Donna and Gary Halterman, and all the other people, if we can dedicate the energy. I'm sure you know many people that are sick, things like that. May the precious supreme bodhicitta not yet born arise. May that arisen not decline, but increase more and more. However many sick sentient beings there are, may they quickly be freed from all sicknesses. May all the sicknesses, without exception, of transmigratory beings never occur again. And we'll dedicate with emptiness. Due to all the past, present, and future merits collected by me, the numberless Buddhas, the numberless sentient beings, which are completely empty of existing from their own side, may I, whom completely empty of existing from my own side, achieve the state of full enlightenment, which is completely empty of existing from its own side, and lead all sentient beings who are completely empty of existing from their own side to that state which is completely empty of existing from its own side, by myself alone, who am completely empty of existing from my own side. And we're going to go to the long life prayers for His Holiness and Lama Zopa Rinpoche. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the three sublime ones, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. I'm sorry, somehow this is not, every time I have such an old phone, every time I go to see if I can get this playing. Here we go. So thank you very, very much. And Venerable is with us for the next session. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I wish you a good rest of your weekend. Please be well. And I'm sorry again, feel free to join in next week to keep the consistency. I'm so sorry I've got this other conflict I tried to get out of. It will still be happening.
Venerable, Venerable, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. Thank you. Mix up.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Well, hello everybody. Chenrezig Institute. Good evening. I'm at the moment I'm in the Netherlands. I'm in the Maitreya Institute. Normally I'm a Nalanda monk. I live in Nalanda. I study and work there. But for the last few weeks I've been in Holland with my teacher, planning on returning. So just to give you an update how everything is in Holland, like the rest of the world, also Holland is in lockdown. The cases of COVID-19 are rising pretty severe. We are in a semi-lockdown, not as strict as, for example, in the Liverpool or in the UK, but all the bars, restaurants are closed, and due to the semi-lockdown, cases now have been dropping. That's good, and also normal healthcare can be resumed slightly. So some hospitals, they were really closed and only COVID-19 patients treated. So it's good that it's going in the right direction, and practices like this 24-hour prayer retreat prayerathon. It's wonderful. I hope this really helps. It's also good to bring people together, and a lot of people joining. Amy Miller, Rubina Curtin, Sanya Kadro, also from India, Seda J. So I also like it. It is also good to bring a lot of people together. So this practice, I would like to keep it really simple. We'll just start with the practice, and we'll mainly recite Mani mantras for I think 15 malas, and then I will read the prayer, and we will do dedications. So before we do this practice, we can set our motivation by thinking why we're doing this practice. That we want to create the causes to become enlightened, to be able to benefit all sentient beings in the best possible way. That we're also trying to fulfill Rinpoche's wishes by the COVID-19 crisis by doing this prayerathon, and that we're doing this practice. While doing this practice, you can also think of people who are loved ones of yours, people who are sick at the moment, who are very ill to the COVID-19 practice. We can take them in our practice with them, think about them, and all people who are suffering at the moment. You can either visualize your own deity, Avalokiteshvara, or the merit field in front of you, or just the Buddha. Think that he is encompassing all the qualities, and he is one with your practice teacher, he is one with Rinpoche, with his holiness. We're all of one nature, that we all possess the same Buddha nature, and that we all have the possibility to become enlightened ourselves in the future. Then we think of all the living beings around us of the six realms in human form, and also all people who are now sick due to the COVID-19 crisis, the nurses all working hard, all people affected globally. We can also take them with us. Then we'll start. All sentient beings, Mother to infinite space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the Assembly of Gurus, Yidams, and the Guineas. We go for refuge to the Declared Up Mind, to Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, Mother to infinite space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the Assembly of Gurus, Yidams, and the Guineas. We go for refuge in the Declared Up of the Mind, to Dharmakaya. All sentient beings, mothers or infinite space, go for refuge to the precious Guru Buddha. We go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. We go for refuge to the Assembly of Gurus, Yidams, and the Guineas. We go for refuge to them declared out of our minds, Kaya. And while reciting the Mani mantras, you can think that light rays emanate from the deity in front of you, that they're reaching all sentient beings and their suffering. We will recite, I think, looking at the time, around 10 to 15 malas. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme. 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 Om Mani